Ah, Holland. When they're not fighting the Germans, they're fighting themselves. The World Cup got going in 1930 and Holland spent the first 30 years playing terribly and barely qualifying. So imagine their dismay when the Euros started in 1960, giving them 2 tournaments to fail at. But cometh the day, cometh the 2 very good men. The 70s saw manager Rinus Michels and demigod Johan Cruyff descend to earth and lead a band of sexy hipsters boldly through the World Cup. They made it to the final, where they faced annoying neighbours West Germany, who'd stolen all their bicycles in the war, about the worst thing you can do to a Dutchman. After getting one ahead, they got carried away with making the Germans look stupid and forgot to actually win. Then, after a shoddy Euros, Holland found their way to the final of the '78 World Cup too, but the careless bunch forgot to win again. Like many great bands, the early 80s was a low point for Holland, who produced a series of subpar performances qualifying for just 1 tournament. But then Rinus Michels descended again to help them demolish West Germany, crush the Soviet Union and win their first ever cup. With 1 hit under their belts, they spent the next 20 years squabbling with the Germans and themselves. It started in a 1990 defeat to Germany, where Frank Rijkaard spat in Rudi Völler's mullet, about the worst thing you can do to a German. They managed to beat their noisy neighbours in the next Euros, only to lose to that nice lot 2 doors down. Having finished with Der Mannschaft, the next cup saw Johan Cruyff refuse to be coach and star player Ruud Gullit refuse to play. Things reached an all-time low at the '96 Euros, where Holland's black players and white players ate at separate tables. At least they got to the semis in the '98 World Cup and the next Euros, but a semi was all they could manage for the rest of the noughties too. Then in 2010, Holland finally made it to a World Cup final with Spain, but taking an approach that Cruyff christened anti-football, Holland kicked the living stront out of Spain and lost 1-0. They then lost every game in their group at the next Euros. So, will they play football this time? Will they remember to win? Will Holland finally get the World Cup success their pedigree demands?
Maradona. Beautiful turn, bamboozles 2 England defenders, the space down the right-hand side. Still Maradona. Oh, quite brilliant, still Maradona.